Okay, when you begin to solve quadratics, there are some simpler methods first. One of the simpler methods is taking the square root. So here are some things to look for. Use inverse operations and properties to isolate, get r squared by itself. That's all that means. And you use the properties and operations, meaning if you want to get r squared by itself, you first have to get rid of the things that are being either added or subtracted. Well, here we have a -4. To zero out a -4, the additive inverse is +4. So additive inverse property, you're going to add 4 to both sides. Also, the additive inverse is those two zero out, right? So now you have the 16r squared is equal to 36. All right, then the multiplicative inverse, to cancel out something being multiplied, you can either use division, which is the inverse of multiplication, or multiplicative inverse, meaning multiply by the reciprocal. Since this isn't a fraction, I'm going to go ahead and divide. And now you have r squared is equal to 36 over 16. And don't simplify it. Leave it just like that in this case, because the next step will be take the square root of both sides. So when you take the square root, of a whole thing, it's like taking the square root of the numerator and the denominator. So don't let that confuse you. Well, the square root of r squared, that cancels, leaving r. When you take the square root of the right side, the most common thing people forget is there's two results. Remember, -4 times -4 is +16, and +4 times +4 is +16. 16 has two perfect roots. So when you take the square root of 36, first we'll put our positive negative. The square root of 36 is 6. The square root of 16 is 4, both the positive and negative. But these can be reduced further. So we're going to have positive, negative. These both share a 2 in common. So 2 times 3, 2 times 2, the 2's cancel, leaving 3/2. So r is equal to -3/2. And r is equal to +3/2. If you use the solution set, remember solve indicates solution set brackets, and you put in order from least to greatest. So -3/2, +3/2. That's it.